healthful benefits of maple syrup are obvious. Just look how tall and strong maple trees grow. And how long they live. Hi, I'm Tim Hurd, the author of Maple Sugar, and this is part 2 of do-it-yourself backyard maple sugaring. Not only is the syrup incredibly tasty, but it's also nutritious, organic, and versatile, and derived from a sustainable native crop that also happens to be the most handsome of trees. Well, you've already identified and tapped the maple trees and collected several gallons of raw sap. Now it's time to boil and refine that sap into pure maple syrup. The necessary supplies for the backyard syrup producer are actually quite few. You need a large, shallow metal pan to boil the sap and a heat source. If you're using a wood fire like I am in the corner of the garden, you'll need a sufficient stock of fuel and a stabilized grill on which to set your metal pans. A couple of cinder blocks and some yard stakes will work well. An optional candy thermometer, a kitchen strainer, funnel, and some white felt or paper towels for filtering the finished sap. And of course, your jars for bottling the finished syrup. When you're ready to boil the sap, place it in a large shallow pan and heat it to boiling to evaporate the water, leaving a concentrated sugar solution. This is best done outside over an open fire or an outdoor grill if you have a lot of sap. Boiling more than 10 gallons of sap inside your home could peel the wallpaper off your walls. If you have only a few gallons to boil, however, putting a pot on the stove is convenient and easy. A dehumidifier or vent fan would still be a good idea, though. As the sap evaporates, continue to add the remaining raw sap as room becomes available in the pan, but don't overfill as it can boil over. The temperature of evaporating sap rises quite slowly at first, especially if you're continually adding new sap. But as the concentration of sugar increases, correspondingly less water is present to boil away, which means it can quite quickly boil over and burn. Touching the surface with a stick of butter, however, can prevent that from happening. As it boils, the sap will eventually thicken and darken in color, and that's when I move my operation inside. It's much easier to finish off the syrup over the more even and controllable heat of the stovetop. As the syrup thickens, check its viscosity with a ladle or spoon. Runny, unfinished syrup simply drips off the spoon. When it aprons or sheets off the spoon in a gooey sheet, it's done. But another way to tell is to use a candy thermometer. Finished sap boils at about 7 degrees Fahrenheit above the boiling temperature of water. And as it nears this point, keep a careful watch on the pan to prevent burning the syrup. But also keep in mind that at higher elevations, water's natural boiling point is less than 212 degrees. While the syrup is still hot, filter it through a piece of clean felt, wool, cheesecloth, or even a couple layers of paper towels to remove what is called the niter or sugar sand before you bottle it. Now, filtering like this depends on gravity, and it may take a while. But it's worth the wait. If you skip this step, the sediment will settle on the bottom and may turn your syrup cloudy or even bitter tasting. After filtering, can or bottle your syrup while it is still hot. Use a funnel to fill each sterilized lidded container almost to the brim so that very little air remains inside. Cap tightly and lay the containers sideways while they cool to create a better seal, and then store in a cool place. After opening, refrigerate it. Well, with what your hands and the maples have created, exult and enjoy. Satisfy your luscious longings with generous portions of maple-flavored favorites. I say treats always taste better when you've made them yourself. For much more about the history, lore, and how-to behind this sweet treat, pick up your own copy of maple sugar, available through timherd.com or from any online bookstore. Thank you for joining me for do-it-yourself backyard maple sugaring. Good luck and bon appetit!